Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to my channel. Hello, dear viewers. Get ready to expand your horizons as we delve into Kurt Bevacqua. Kurt Anthony Bevacqua, born January 23, 1947, is an American former professional baseball player. He played in Major League Baseball as an infielder from 1971 to 1985. Bevacqua is notable for his performance during the 1984 World Series when he hit 2 home runs and had a batting average as the San Diego Padres designated hitter. He also played for the Mayaguez Indians in the Puerto Rican Professional Baseball League from 1977 to 1981. Get ready to uncover the mysteries surrounding early years as we navigate its intriguing terrain. Bevacqua was originally drafted by the New York Mets in the 32nd round of the 1966 Major League Baseball draft and the Atlanta Braves in the 6th round of the January secondary phase of the 1967 Major League Baseball draft, but did not sign with either team. After leading Miami-Dade College to the FJCC baseball tournament, he finally signed with the Cincinnati Reds, who selected him in the 12th round of the secondary phase of the June draft. He was immediately a utility player, playing each infield position and the outfield while in the Reds farm system. He was traded to the Cleveland Indians for outfielder Buddy Bradford on May 8 and made his big league debut shortly afterwards. Though he batted just his rookie season, his versatility on the field proved valuable to the Indians. He appeared in 55 games, playing second, third, shortstop and both corner outfield positions, and earned the nickname Dirty Kurt for routinely having the dirtiest uniform on the team. Bevacqua spent most of the season with the Portland Beavers of the Pacific Coast League, where he batted with 9 home runs and 72 runs batted in. He returned to the Indians that September, but batted just in 19 games. After the season, he was traded to the Kansas City Royals for pitcher Mike Hedlund. In the next portion, we'll be immersing ourselves in the realm of Kansas City Royals and examining its broader implications. Bevacqua drove in a career-high 40 runs backing up Paul Scholl at third base. After the season, he was traded with Ed Kirkpatrick and minor leaguer Winston Cole to the Pittsburgh Pirates for Nelson Briles and Fernando Gonzalez, but after a short, turbulent stay in Pittsburgh, he rejoined the Royals midway through the season. With the groundwork laid, let's now examine Milwaukee Brewers and its connections to our previous discussions. The following spring, Bevacqua was acquired by the Milwaukee Brewers as insurance for Don Money at third base, as Money had been experiencing chronic arm problems. Though Money is a third baseman, a highlight of Bevacqua's season came while playing second. During a 4-0 loss to his former team on May 11, Bevacqua got into an altercation with George Brett at second base, causing both benches to clear. His other most memorable moment with the Brewers had even less to do with baseball. He was the 1975 Joe Garagiola Bazooka Bubble Gum Blowing champion, defeating catcher Johnny Oates in the October finals. Topps baseball card in the set attests to this feat. He remained with the Brewers through May of the 1976 season, after which he was reassigned to the Spokane Indians of the Pacific Coast League, where he remained for the rest of the season. As we embark on the next leg of our journey, let's unpack the layers of Seattle Mariners and examine its core elements. After Major League Baseball announced that it would be going to expansion for the season, Bevacqua openly admitted that he was looking forward to the opportunity to join an expansion club, though he was still a member of the Brewers organization. His dream came to fruition on October 22, 1976, when he became the 4th member of the Seattle Mariners, who purchased his contract from the Brewers 2 weeks before the expansion draft. He arrived at camp that spring to compete for the shortstop job with Craig Reynolds, whom the club had acquired from the Pirates for relief pitcher Grant Jackson. Despite an exceptional spring training in which he batted, Bevacqua was released. The team's explanation was that Reynolds proved himself the better fielder, and the club already had too many right-handed bats off the bench. Furious over this decision, Bevacqua toyed with the idea of playing ball in Japan, but ultimately decided to sign a minor league deal with the Texas Rangers the day after the season started. Though he never played a regular season game with them, Bevacqua's 1977 Topps card shows him in a Mariners uniform. Let's now venture into the realm of Texas Rangers and explore the fascinating intricacies it holds. Shortly before his release from the Mariners, Bevacqua was arrested near his New Berlin, Wisconsin home for driving without a license. He was given a $160 fine and a 10-day jail sentence, which he was allowed to serve after the season ended. After batting with 9 home runs and 76 ribbies for the AAA Tucson Toros in the first half of the 1977 season, Bevacqua was called up to the majors for the second half and immediately proved himself a valuable addition to the Rangers. He batted with 5 home runs and 28 ribbies, mostly as a pinch hitter. He also disproved Seattle manager Darryl Johnson's assessment that he was a defensive liability, as he committed just 1 error all season while playing 5 different positions on the field. He hit a career-high 6 home runs. After the season, Bill Fahey and disgruntled former Rookie of the Year Mike Hargrove were traded to the San Diego Padres for Oscar Gamble and Dave Roberts. Welcome to the next segment, where we explore San Diego Padres and its significance in our journey. With the Padres, Bevacqua seemed to have finally found his home. Though he still did not have a regular position, he had a career-high 346 plate appearances in filling in at second, third, and the outfield. He was batting and on his way to a similar season when the last-place Padres went into rebuilding mode and dealt Bevacqua to the Pirates for minor league prospects Luis Salazar and Rick Lancellotti. Bevacqua's second tour of duty in Pittsburgh went no better than his first, and he was released by the club after a season and a half in which he was given just 70 at-bats and demoted to AAA during the season. Perhaps the most memorable moment of his second stint with the Pirates occurred in spring training, when he incited a bench-clearing brawl with the Detroit Tigers after Tigers pitcher Howard Bailey hit the Pirates' Bill Robinson in the face with a pitch. Without further ado, let's move on to the topic of feuds and brawls. He returned to the Padres and remained in San Diego for the rest of his career. Shortly after returning to the Padres, Bevacqua became embroiled in a verbal feud with National League West rival Los Angeles Dodgers manager Tommy Lasorda. On June 30, Dodgers pitcher Tom Niedenfer hit Joe Lefebvre with the next pitch after giving up a home run to Broderick Perkins to lead off the ninth. Niedenfer had imploded to blow a save the night before and allow the Padres to come back from a deficit in the ninth. Niedenfer was hit with a $500 fine by Major League Baseball for intentionally hitting Lefebvre. Afterwards, Bevacqua expressed the opinion to local press that they ought to fine that fat little Italian, too. He ordered it, referring to Lasorda. To which Lasorda responded with the following. Bevacqua had in fact been batting with 2 runs scored, 2 beers and 2 walks against the Dodgers up to that point in the season. He faced the Dodgers for 2 more series in September and went 1 for 15. Over his career, he batted with 1 home run and 12 ribbies against Tommy Lasorda's Dodgers. He was 1 for 7 against the Dodgers with Walter Alston as manager. Though he wasn't even in the line-up for the day's game against the Atlanta Braves, he became the centerpiece of an August 11, 1984 brawl. Braves pitcher Pascal Perez hit Alan Wiggins with the very first pitch of the game. Padres pitcher Ed Whitson responded by pitching inside to Perez when he came to bat in the second inning. Home plate umpire Steve Rippey warned Whitson, who threw at him again in the fourth regardless, causing both benches to clear and Whitson and Padres manager Dick Williams to get ejected. Eventually, Perez was hit by a pitch from Craig Lefferts, causing benches to clear again. The final brawl of the evening occurred in the ninth, when Gray Nettles, who homered in his previous at-bat, was hit by Donnie Moore leading off the inning. In total, both replacement managers, 4 pitchers and 5 position players were ejected from the game. After the ninth inning melee, a fan at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium threw a beer at Bevacqua, causing Bevacqua to go into the stands after him. He was restrained by security guards. Let's now turn our attention to 1984 World Series and uncover the fascinating insights it brings to the table. The rebuilding process the Padres began in 1980 culminated with a trip to the 1984 World Series. It was Bevacqua's only trip to the postseason, and though he'd batted just with 1 home run and 9 bis over the regular season, Dick Williams used Bevacqua as his designated hitter in 3 games of the World Series. With the Padres trailing the heavily favored Detroit Tigers, in Game 1 of the series, Bevacqua hit a double to lead off the 7th inning. However, rather than having the tying run in scoring position with the heart of the line-up coming up, Bevacqua was out trying to stretch it into a triple. The Tigers went on to win the game, making something of a goat of Bevacqua. Regardless, Williams stuck with Bevacqua for Game 2 of the series, even moving him up from 9th to 6th in the lineup. The Padres were already down to Dan Petry when Bevacqua led off the 4th with a base hit. After moving to 3rd on a Gary Templeton single, he came around to score on a ground out by Bobby Brown. The score remained until the 5th inning, when Bevacqua hit a 3-run home run to put the Padres up by the final score of. He batted a team high and hit a 2nd home run in the 5th and final game of the series. Terry Kennedy hit the only Padres home run in the World Series other than Bevacqua's 2. To this date, the Game 2 win remains the franchise's lone World Series victory. With our curiosity piqued, let's embark on a dedicated exploration of retirement and its fascinating intricacies. When the Padres released Bevacqua during spring training, he chose to retire rather than try to catch on with another club. His performance in the 1984 World Series has provided him with an enduring celebrity status in San Diego, which he has used to benefit Street Madeleine Sophie's Center's Heart with Heart charity to benefit programs for adults with developmental disabilities, among other charities. Bevacqua was also featured on an episode of Fox's King of the Hill. In the episode, he was a ringer brought in to defeat Strickland Prippen's softball team. Don't forget to check out my other videos for more valuable content.